The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him make I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restored I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno preparate a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I to no aisle, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Ja, kadama we groma bea tela zigzag beer tana istalina bashante shante shante shante. Kadama we groma be tela Au mauso bolisa adano wato e was clear for our time you mo you wanna don. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku show them up, and here we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. Now we call it the Black Pot simply because in every traditional African home you will find a black pot. And this black pot, several ingredients locate in there. And the aftermath is a cool heating which provides us with delicious, sumptuous, nutritious food. Now here we meet to bring all the ideas together to sort out the best of the plans to be able to deal with our problems. That is why this show is called the Black Pot. This is where we speak truth to power. We are the hardest hitting, yet the most decorous, the most temperate. My brother, my sister, from the newsreel, we endeavor to keep it real. Come here, my youth. Now, my name, Blakk RASTA, and I am your host. Today, we have 4 very important issues to look at. We're going to be very snappy with this because we're starting quite late. Technical issues every now and then. Last week, Friday, we had yet another technical issue when we began the show. Then Doomso set in and worried our broadcast. My brother, my sister, we were able to record later and then upload it up so that you will be able to see it. If you haven't seen Friday's show yet, please go through our page and you will see it. This is live. And I want to say thank you so much. Your comments will be read here. Make sure you send in your comments via Facebook or even YouTube. We'll read them as we move on. Our numbers are also rolling on the screen. Please pick up the numbers and do business with us. We love to do business with you. When you do business with us, you encourage us to do more and you support the business. That is what it is. As it stands right now, it's time to look at what issues we have for today. Come here, my youth. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is rolling on the screen, and it says, Ellembelle Mugabe lies to courts about Ablakwa. Who is Ellembelle Mugabe? This is the man. Honorable Freddie Blay. He was a member of the CPP. In fact, his father was a very powerful stalwart of Nkrumah's party, the CPP. And his father was a very powerful man, very patriotic man. But that cannot be said about this man here called Freddie Blay. Not at all. In fact, he crossed carpets from the CPP after he had won a number of times for, his way into the Parliament House on the ticket of the CPP. And then he decided to cross carpets and go all the way to the NPP. For whatever reason, we want to believe that he was just exercising the democracy that we all are enjoying in this country. We do not blame him for anything. My brother, my sister, he and his wife own a newspaper. It's called the Daily Guide. At the point, it was the biggest private newspaper in Ghana. But now, the same cannot be said of it. Their party is in power, and that is the NPP. This was the man who bought so many buses and donated that to his party, not the state, but his party. My brother, my sister, he was nicknamed Ellembelle Mugabe because he had stayed too long in power. Right there in Ellembelle, that's the constituency where he actually comes from. He's an Zimmerman, just like Kwame Nkrumah. He crossed carpets to the NPP, and from that time he's been with the NPP. Not many Ellembelle people were happy with that decision. They voted him out of parliament and brought Honorable Bua in. He was also working with the post office in America. He denounced his U.S. citizenship and came all the way. In fact, according to him, he never even took citizenship. He came all the way to Ghana to be able to participate in politics and nation serving. I'm talking about Honorable Bua. He took over from Freddie Blay. Now, Freddie Blay went to court. Why did he go to court? He went to court over an allegation that he had done something, and Ablakwa was the one who brought up that issue. What was the issue all about? Johnny Hughes was also fingered in this because his program was used by Honorable Ablakwa to propagate the allegation. Now they went to court, and it looks like Ablakwa is saying that Freddie Blay is telling a bag of lies. He posted on X, formerly called Twitter, only last night. Folks, apparently Freddie Blay claims he couldn't find Johnny Hughes and I to serve us with his court processes, so he returned to court to obtain an order for substituted service. I didn't know that I am that difficult to locate. It is also exceedingly strange that a former MP and former deputy speaker will claim he doesn't know how to find an MP to serve him with court processes. I have gladly instructed my lawyers to respond accordingly and to further inform the court that I am more than ready to personally appear in court at all times. We shall not be intimidated, and absolutely nothing will stop us from reclaiming the beachfront of our Labadi Beach Hotel. So you see, that is the point or the subject of contention. Freddie Blay was fingered in the Labadi Beach Hotel beachfront. You know, he is claiming that a lot of government officials are doing what is called nation capture or state capture. They are taking property belonging to the state using the powers that the people have given to them. And Freddie Blay was fingered in that thing called state capture. Now the battle against state capture continues unabated. I can't wait for the showdown in court. Another reason why I am extremely excited about Operation Recover All Loot, that's oral. Yes, is this for God and country, Ghana first. Wow. Now the court documents to support this claim are flying on the screens, and is order for substituted service. Now, upon reading the affidavit of Curtis Tewia, house number blah 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 blah, and upon hearing the Vidna Abba Datson Esquire comment blah 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 blah, when you read it, it says that they cannot find Ablakwa, neither can they find Johnny Hughes. For that matter, they have come out to tell the court that they would want to pursue substituted service. What does that mean? In other words, these are people who are difficult to find. And if it goes on like this, there might be a warrant for their arrest. What does Freddie Blay want to achieve? Is it truly difficult that Freddie Blay cannot find Ablakwa? Is it difficult in finding Ablakwa. He has been a member of parliament before. You know how to always find an MP. You can find the MP, the worst of it all, via the Speaker of Parliament. They have offices there. There are pigeonholes where you can always go and put whatever communique it is for them. And if you want to meet them personally, they are always in the Parliament House, as they are supposed to be. So what truly is Freddie Blay trying to achieve? Ablakwa says he's happy. He will continue fighting this till the end of it all. My brother, my sister, they have tried in the past to disgrace Ablakwa by saying that he owned farms and some other things. He came out and said it's not true. They couldn't prove that. They said he was corrupt. They tried to pin him down, but they couldn't. I like the speed with which Ablakwa is running. My prayer is that he never runs out of gas, even when his party comes into power. In the interim, Honorable Freddie Blay, what do you truly want to achieve? Is it true that you can't find him? A parliamentarian? You have been a parliamentarian before, so the people of Ellembelle got fed up with you and kicked you out. It is sad. This was the man who said he loves politics so much he could sell his own mother to do politics. What a blasphemy. An old man like this. At the end of the day, he came out and said, oh, he was only joking. Joking with your mother, and that his mother had died. He was only joking. Joking with a dead woman who brought you to the earth? No, sir. You can't joke like this with your mother in our culture. My brother, my sister, this is dishonorable Freddie Blay, who says politics is so sweet he could sell his own mother and do politics. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Dash it away and bring me the next story, my youth. Now the next story says Cocoa War, Russia targets Ghana. I am scared. The might of Russia against Ghana militarily is nothing to compare. Russia is a world power. In fact, if we have any power in Ghana at all, it's the power of talking. We talk more than anybody in the world. We are a nation of over 30 million football coaches. We have never won the World Cup. We are a nation of garrulous talkatives. We are a nation of close to 40 million talkatives. We know how to talk. We know our rights. Yet, we always infringe on the rights of each other. It's so sad. My brother, today I came across this and it broke my heart. Russia seems to be targeting Ghana. Why is Russia targeting Ghana? I'm going to be telling you in a jiffy. Cocoa Board CEO blames Russian government for promoting cocoa smuggling in Africa. Not just Ghana, Africa. But Ghana heads cocoa alongside the Ivory Coast in the whole of the sub-region and the whole world. My brother, my sister, now start the story properly. Cocoa War, Russia targets Ghana. Let's read the story. It's interesting how Russia would be targeting Africa and encouraging smuggling. Let's find out. Now, the chief executive of Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Buahin Edu, who was my lecturer at NUST Kumasi, has disclosed that the government is intensifying efforts to combat cocoa smuggling across Ghana's borders. Now, this special anti-cocoa smuggling initiative will be led by the Ghana Armed Forces. Wow. Now, speaking to the media in Kumasi on Friday, Edu stated that Cocoa Board is overwhelmed by the increasing cases of cocoa smuggling. We have written to the Minister of Defense requesting military intervention. While the police and other security forces have been assisting, there have already been several arrests related to cocoa smuggling. Recently, cocoa being transported out of the country in tankers meant for fuel was intercepted, he said. Edu stressed that military involvement is now necessary to address the issue more effectively. Now, the military has expressed readiness to lead the operation, and the Ministry of Defense is fully aware COCOBOD would sponsor the National Anti-Cocoa Smuggling Program, he added. And the COCOBOD CEO explained that this intensified exercise is crucial for safeguarding Ghana's cocoa export industry and ensuring the country meets its international export targets. Cocoa is the backbone of Ghana's economy. It brings in the foreign exchange needed to support our balance of payments. We cannot afford to lose our cocoa exports, especially since we heavily support local farmers, Edu emphasized. He also noted that the government, through COCOBOD, provides substantial support to cocoa farmers. This year, we supplied more than enough fertilizers, such as liquid fertilizer, insecticides, and fungicides. COCOBOD also funded the pruning of cocoa farms. If cocoa is smuggled out of the country, how are we going to repay the loans we took to invest in our farmers? He questioned. Edu went on to disclose a concerning development in cocoa smuggling, attributing the issue to the Russian government. That's the part I wanted to arrive at. He explained that the Russian military group Wagner, stationed in Burkina Faso, Niger, and other Francophone countries, is involved in buying smuggled cocoa from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. He disclosed Russia has been banned from entering the European market, which has led them to resort to smuggling cocoa. Countries like Burkina Faso and Niger, which do not grow cocoa, are now exporting cocoa. Where are they getting it from? He asked. He expressed confidence that military intervention as part of the National Anti-Cocoa Smuggling Initiative will help curb the problem. Dash it away. When our president went to the American people and behaved like a house nigger and told them that Russia had brought in Wagner, and Wagner started perambulating the borders of Ghana and some other places, and he saw that to be a threat to the peace and safety of the people of Ghana. Russia was listening. Several times we've fallen on Russia for support. Yes, we are partners in development. Today, if we go to report Russia to the Americans, because America and Russia have come to a certain crossroads, the way our president spoke, it was very infantile. Today, we are hearing again that Russia is responsible for smuggling of our cocoa beans and cocoa meant for fuel right around our borders. How can they solve that? They say they are bringing the military in to stop Ghanaians from engaging in smuggling activities. Has the military succeeded with Galamsey, which is even internal? Galamsey that does not move is stationary. We have not been able to fight that. Now we are going to chase people who are driving trucks around with cocoa beans. Why are we causing a storm in a teacup? Why are we trying to kill a mosquito with an AK-47 bazooka? Why are we trying not to sit back and reason and go into the nitty-gritties of the problem that we have here? My brother, we pay our farmers the least in the South region. Recently, cocoa from Ghana was smuggled into the Ivory Coast because Ivorian cocoa farmers were paid more. Was that Wagner that did that? Was it Russia that did that? We don't respect our farmers here. We have seen videos of cocoa farmers telling us that they had stopped producing cocoa and that they were going into Galamsey. After all, it looked like Galamsey was giving them more money than cocoa production. It was sad to hear that. But my brother, at the end of it all, we suffered. Now the nation is trying to get back. The international market, the Eurobond and the rest, they are not ready to give us loans anymore. A nation that has been independent for only God knows how long. We still have not been able to produce our own cocoa from our own pockets. Always pay us, give us money, give us money, give us money. Oh, loans, and so on and so forth. We are not independent in an independent country. So dependent on the West. Now Russia can fly all the way from Russia and come to West Africa and be encouraging smuggling to take back. We need to look at how we treat our farmers. Is it Russia that is coming in to tell the farmers to stop producing cocoa and rather turn their farms into Galamsey sites? Again, the EU even refused or threatened to refuse buying Ghana cocoa, even though it's the best in the whole world, because we were using child labor and using a lot of chemicals in our Galamsey fields, thereby polluting our cocoa. What did China say? China quickly came and said, oh, we have the same Ghana cocoa. Therefore, if you want to try that, we plant that in China and it's working so good. Come and get that. My brother, my sister, was it Russia that did that? Let us look at the problem, put all shoulders to the wheel, take the bull by the horn, rather than allowing ourselves to be wagged like rag dolls by the tail of that bull. My brother, patriotism is gone. If our people were patriotic, despite the low prices we're paying them for their cocoa, smuggling will not be this much. When was the last time we even heard about smuggling in this nation? But in this government, we are seeing a lot of smuggling. Hey, I have said it. Until we listen to this, we will continue circumambulating, going round the nail, and we'll never be able to hit the nail on the head. Patriotism. Let's instill in our people the discipline of patriotism. Look at what we see Chinese and other nationals come and do in our nation. Galamsey and the rest of it. Can Ghanaians do a little bit of that in China? They will use your body for the next experiment in the science lab. They will hang you in other nations because you destroy their land. But here, our own people are supporting them and helping them to destroy our land, as if we have no common sense. So the Ghanaian is averagely a fool. The Ghanaian has no common sense. How can you help nationals destroy your own land because they will give you something small? Destroy our water bodies and everything, and go back to China and other countries like that, drinking good water and sitting safely. When you want to go to their country, they ask you to go and apply. If you're not a stupid fool, then what are you? I don't know why Ghanaians behave like this. There are no jobs, so we are all betting. There are no jobs, so we are all doing sakawa. There are no jobs, so we all are running around robbing each other. Oh my God. I am honestly not able to come to terms with this kind of reasoning, to the point that government officials are involved in this. Now, Russia is being blamed for smuggling of cocoa. The least we want is war with Russia. From when our president went to America and reported Russia to the Americans, Burkina Faso has never been happy with Ghana. Yet the president came, they met and spoke, but they have never been happy with Ghana. Burkina Faso has broken away from the ECOWAS. Niger is next. Mali is next. Much more. What kind of... When we thought at a point that Africa was getting united, all of a sudden, there's a disintegration and fragmentalization that Nkrumah warned us against. Please, we don't want a war with Russia. It is good to safeguard our borders. I think that it's a diplomatic error, diplomatic blunder by coming out point blank to mention and finger Russia and say Russia is responsible for the smuggling of our cocoa in this country. I don't know who the Minister of Defense is. I don't know who the Minister of National Security is, but this is a diplomatic blunder. It's sad. I believe that we could have sat with the Russians to tell them that this is what we see you doing around our borders. We are not happy about it. Please, we need you to back off. We don't want to go public with that. But by saying this, well, it's a diplomatic blunder. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more for you. We would also be taking your messages. Hey! Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonaman. Here we speak truth to power. Next one. Remember, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Constitution did not allow Bawumia to work. And this is Mustafa Hamid talking. What does he really mean? We're going to break it down. This is Mustafa Hamid. Do we all remember? Inshallah, we have to rescue this nation. Wallahi, we have to rescue this nation. I feel so ashamed as a Ghanaian at this point. Inshallah, we have to rescue the. Oh, please don't cry. Inshallah, we have to rescue this nation. As this man here, at the time that Mahama was in power, and we all were fed up with Mahama and needed somebody to rescue our nation, he was one of the beacons of noise. And we saw him as a great guy. He spoke for the people of Ghana. But today, we see all of them as hoodlums and noisemakers. They are just after their stomachs, all these guys. They don't respect the average Ghanaian. He's called Mustafa Hamid. He's a personal friend, but it's not about friendship. It's about Ghana. Vice President has no role in governance. Per our constitution, and this is Mustafa Hamid. Run it, my youth. He's not the National Petroleum Boss. Please start the story properly. This is terrible. Dr. Mustafa Hamid, CEO of National Petroleum Authority. He used to be the Minister of Information. They brought in upon Nkrumah and put him in there. In fact, this man followed Nana Akufo-Addo religiously. He threw his weight behind Nana Akufo-Addo. He convinced a lot of people that Nana Akufo-Addo was the president who Ghana never had, only next to Kwame Nkrumah. Today, when Nana Akufo-Addo removed him as the Minister of Information and made his deputy upon Nkrumah the substantive, many were not happy. But he was posted all the way to the Zongo to become the Zongo minister. Only for that ministry to be scraped. And now he was without a ministry. And quickly, they took him to the money zone. Oh yes, money zone. The National Petroleum Authority, NPA. He is the chief executive there. Mustafa Hamid. He's saying something. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, has defended Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, stating that he bears no responsibility for any perceived mismanagement of the country's affairs. Are you listening? Please, you didn't hear me. You are not in church. You are not in church today. The Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Dr. MUSTAPHA Abdul Hamid has defended Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, stating that he bears no responsibility for any perceived mismanagement of the country's affairs. In addressing imams and Zongo chiefs in Kukuom, in the Asunafo South constituency of the Ahafo region, he uses the imam and muazzin, that's a Ladan analogy, to derive home the point to the clear understanding and admiration of the audience. Listen. Dr. Abdul Hamid emphasized that the vice president's role was defined by the 1992 Constitution, as defined by the 1992 Constitution, does not include any significant powers in governance. According to him, Dr. Bawumia has merely acted as an assistant to the president. Assistant in what? Sleeping? Or assistant in corruption? Or assistant in encouraging Galamsey? Which assistant? I don't understand this English. According to him, Dr. Bawumia has merely acted as an assistant to the president. And I'm asking, assistant in what? Stealing? Certainly is assistant in governance, because the president is there to govern. So anybody assisting him is assisting him to do what? Govern. So what English is that? I don't get it. What is this? Lacking the authority to make independent decisions. Dr. Abdul Hamid, an Islamic scholar, drew an analogy between Dr. Bawumia's role as vice president and the hierarchical structure within a mosque. He likened Dr. Bawumia to an assistant to the imam, who supports the imam by responding with Amin. Abu de Kofa kile gishiri da tankwa. Amin. Malam wa zakaratu tanuna. Amin. Abu de Kofa wakile gishiri da tankwa. Amin. Yawa asharwa, asharomo, ashakoko, asha. Amin. That's all that the assistant to the imam does, but does not have the authority to lead prayers or recite the Quran. Oh, what a shame. And according to this story, the Muslim community in Kukum applauded. They understood this. This is blasphemy. This is blasphemy. My brother, the assistant imam, or the one we call Ladan, proper word, muazzin, he calls the azan. He calls the people to prayer. And then he stands behind the imam. Listen attentively. When the imam is going wrong, listen. Listen. When the imam is reciting the Quran and goes wrong, hey, the muazzin stops the imam and recites the Quran properly until the imam is able to continue. If the imam is not able to continue, you know what the imam does? According to Islam, he has to move back for this man to go in front and pray. True? Don't deceive people who do not know the Quran. This is a shame. This is a big shame. How many people are Muslims here? When the imam is reciting the Quran, as in leading the prayer, the moment he goes wrong, the muazzin or some other person who is more knowledgeable in the Quran, anybody who is at the back can respond and say, Subhanallah. The moment the imam hears Subhanallah, may Allah forbid, you know what happens? The imam keeps quiet. And he recites the Quran properly. The imam would have to keep quiet and listen to the man, the mate, the muazzin, the ladan, recite the Quran until he gets to a point where his memory is refreshed to continue. If the imam realizes that he's unable to continue, he's confused, you know what he does? He won't drive the people in the wrong direction. He steps back and the next person there goes in front. Because when Muslims are praying, they are not permitted to look back. So he steps back without looking, like that. And the next person comes to continue with the prayer. the best analogy to describe how incompetent our vice president has been. He doesn't know the Quran, so he cannot lead even when the imam goes wrong. That's why he will continue saying that I am only a mate. And people like MUSTAPHA HAMID, who claim they know the Quran, he was on my show. He read the Quran back to back and even gave me a copy of the Quran. How many of you remember on xylophone? This is the analogy you go and give. You are polluting the people when it comes to proper knowledge of Islam. Thank God. I know. Look at the joke. Look at the joker. Look at these jokers. He said the vice president is like an assistant to the imam, just as the assistant does not have the right to recite the Quran. What? Subhanallah. Subhanallah. If this was Saudi Arabia, they would call him and behead him. If this was Saudi Arabia, they would call him, behead him, and say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This is blasphemy. Lack of knowledge is terrible. So this is your Zongo minister. Zongo minister, the man who recites the Quran. I remember when he was following Nana Addo, campaigning for him. Everywhere he recited the Quran, alongside Amin Anta. How many of us did not see them? Look at the weak analogy. And this guy carries the Quran left, right, and center. These are the people who become Al-Qaeda and give Islam a bad name. And I'm saying it with passion. Muslims do not like their religion being polluted. This is a pollution. Nanado himself said he brought Bawumia in to help him with governance because of his one sharp acumen, sharp brains. And again, second reason, because of his geopolitical location. What does it mean? Come and help me drive. Even on the aeroplane, when the pilot is tired, his assistant takes over. STC, in my days, there were always two drivers, sometimes three drivers. One long distance, one gets tired, another one jumps on board, and you know, the two of them will drive all the way to the destination. This man says the Muazzin has no right to recite the Quran, but only to respond. Hey! La ilaha illallah. Kai! Kunya. Hey! Because of politics, you will misquote Islam and misquote the Quran. La ilaha illallah. Now, as Dr. Bawumia has been elected by the party delegates to lead the party 2024 general elections, he is ready to recite the Quran himself. Subhanallah. This is Zongo minister. Look at the dirty blasphemy. Dirty blasphemy. Dirty blasphemy. I want to believe that MUSTAPHA HAMID knows the right thing. But he was talking to ignoramuses who just follow their fathers and mothers to become Muslims, but do not really understand. So they will clap for him. In a country where people just follow religion because their grandfathers belong to a certain religion, they will not take time to learn. Listen to this dirty blasphemy. I'm going to conclude on this. Please, this man here and Bawumia are not propagating the true Islam. That's not what Islam says. And if there are Muslims on this platform, please let me know if what I'm saying is true or false. When I saw this a few minutes ago, before we started this was published a few minutes ago. I said, what? This was a man who was reciting the Quran on political platforms, getting Muslims to come and support Nana Akufo-Addo. Now religion has become a tool for politics. The same guy is using the religion to fool people and lie about the true essence of Islam. Subhanallah. I'll conclude. When the Imam is reciting the Quran and he makes a mistake, anybody behind him, including the Muazzin, and say Subhanallah, it means may Allah forbid. Recite the Quran properly the way it should be recited. And if the Imam is able to continue, he will just take it. That means he serves as the prompter in drama. Those of you who have studied drama. He will prompt him. Then when he's able to get to the right thing, then he would continue. If he still is confused, that means he's not fit to lead the prayer at that point. He has to step back so that the muazzin will continue. Should I tell you something in addition? That is why in Islam, when you go to the mosque to pray, they normally would want people who are learned in the Quran and the Hadith and the religion to be behind the Imam directly. Normally, because of things like this, in case the driver is driving in the wrong direction, the maid can stop him and say, hey, Dabi, don't spoil the car and don't spoil the road. Come back. Bring Mustafa Hamid here. Mustafa Hamid, with all love, I'm your brother. And you know that I love you. Yes, I do love you. But when it comes to the religion, let's be careful what we say. And let's be careful what we don't say. Let's be very careful. I think you are overly doing politics. Before Nanado became president, you went out reciting the Quran on almost every stage. You and Amin Anta. Is your religion supposed to push you guys into politics? Are you politicking with the religion? There are some other people who are reciting Bible verses. They are also included. At the end of the day, you got Zongo people to vote for Nanado. Today, look at the blasphemy. You are blaspheming. I know you know the right thing, but you decided to fanfool the people with this. I'm not going to say anything nasty. I respect you as a brother, but let your conscience guide you. It's the Blakk Pot. Come here! Where we speak truth to power. When we return, we will be reading your messages. Until then, hey! Way! Wayo!
Blakk Pot. Coco Show, man.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Showdown. Here we speak truth to power. Shall we see your messages? All right? Right? So these messages are coming from Facebook and YouTube. Wani Boy says, welcome back, my king. Wayoy! Another blessed Monday. Zache Emmanuel says, welcome, Father. Sweet Papito says, hey, come here. Wayoy! Kodewan Fool says, greetings, all. How good and how pleasant when we can get together. Rise up yourself, Black Rasta. One love. Zache Emmanuel says, good evening, my Lord. The useless Bawumia said, America and UK do not have a card, right? So Ghanaians are lucky. Okay, joke of the year. Did he say that? I didn't hear that. Because Americans have the card. And the UK also has those same cards. So I don't know if he truly said that. Yeah. Zacha Imana says, good evening, my Lord. Well, Sweet Papito says, please, while you enjoy, remember to tap on the like button. He's telling all of you to like the show and also to spread the word by sharing the broadcast, right? Yes. Antaru Yakub says, Assalamu alaikum, Blakk. How are you doing today? I like your outfit today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Joshua Apia says, I love you. Keep the fire burning. Gosway Jata says, welcome Blakk. Live in Kumasi. Wayo. Benzino. Another Monday with the man himself, the ghetto youth president. Run the story, my youth, to the bongo clippings. Kids Time says, I love you, Black Rasta. Thank you for speaking the truth to power. Kofi Azuma says, greetings to my brother, Black Rasta, on this blessed Monday. And he says, greetings to all my brothers and sisters here with much love. I pray that you all had a blessed weekend. I say, make sure you always call your friends and family members to tell them that Black Rasta is live speaking truth to power here on what's going on in Ghana. Blessed love. We appreciate you and we love you. All right. Keep the messages coming in. We're going to read more messages when we return. Looks like we are going to take our last story, right? Yeah, last story. Run it, my youth. Can we ever win the Galamsey war? Can we ever win the Galamsey war? This is what Galamsey has done to us. Destroyed our forests. In fact, our flora and fauna. Chemicals are injected into the land night and day. They don't care what happens around. All they care is that they have money coming out of destroying the land. Yes, all they care about is the money they make from this. They don't care how polluted the environment is. They don't care about the next generation. They don't care about anything. Soldiers and police have been sent to the fields to help bring some discipline and order. And we were told that a number of them joined in the Galamsey work, taking money from the perpetrators of this evilous act and allowing them to destroy the land more. So they don't have any allegiance to the country anymore. All their allegiance is to money. Whoever gives them the money, yes, like the piper, they will play the tune. My brother, many people have asked us how we'll be able to solve this problem. Headlines all over the place. Look at this. Galamsey. Adekoka proposes 5-year ban on all forms of mining in Ghana. This is Adekoka, former Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the NDC. Joseph Kwabena Adekoka. He says for 5 years, whilst they were in power, they didn't see stopping mining for 5 years. They were interested in getting the money so they could do their own thing. Now they are getting out of power. Maybe that is why he's saying, okay, so the next government can start with the 5 years and we'll see where you make your money from. That's what I see from that. But let me cut him some slack. He says we should stop mining for 5 years. I think we should stop mining until we get wise, at least for 50 years. We have arable lands. Nkrumah was looking at making money, making Africa the breadbasket of the world by using the Congo Valley. Read his book. This is what Adekoka is saying. It's not a bad idea. 5 years is too short to be able to replenish the land and inject the land with some good health. There are other ideas. There are other ideas. Some other people have said that the chiefs and people can even do it better. My brother, my sister, Galamsey, this is my idea. Dash this away and bring me photos of Galamsey. Look at how our land is being destroyed. Water bodies are also destroyed. See if you can find me water bodies that are destroyed because of this Galamsey thing. My brother, I'm going to end it. A lot of our communities in Ghana, about 99% of every community in Ghana, believes in a certain deity. Christianity, Islam, the so-called fetishism, they all believe in a certain deity. We just give that deity different names. My brother, a lot of traditional people in Ghana believe that Rivers and other water bodies are the homes of some gods. There are some days you don't have to go fishing. There are some places you don't have to get near when you are menstruating or when you are going through something. My brother, there are some other places, my brother, my sister, where you will never be able to move to. My brother, my sister, all because of some things happening on our land. Now, I'm going to try and concentrate. Watch this. And I need you to come here. Our rivers, our water bodies are the homes of our gods. A few days ago, Asante-Hini's people went all the way to River Pra and slaughtered a sheep and poured libation so Asante-Hini could cross Pra, because they believe that the Pra is the home of some gods. If you live in a community where there's a water body, your gods live in that water body, and it's polluted like this, what kind of dirty gods do you have? Look at this. Look at what Galamsey has done to us. Water bodies destroyed, and your gods still live in these dirty places. Are you happy? So your gods are dirty gods. When we live in a country where young girls are defiled and raped, and the only punishment we can give is go bring a fowl, let's slaughter, our gods will eat the fowl and it's over. My brother, this is what they are doing to our country. The water bodies where the gods live, a nation that believes so much in ancestral worship. Chiefs don't care. Chiefs are rather encouraging a lot of chiefs this dirty act. Do you believe in your gods, or you are modern chiefs, so you don't believe in gods anymore? All the water bodies that house your gods have been polluted and they are so dirty. If you truly believe in your tradition, this is the time to send your military, your militia, your young men to go out there and stop this heinous act against your ancestors and against your gods. But the average Ghanaian is funny. He claims he's not corrupt, but when corruption stares at him in his face, he's quick to grab it. A lot of us say we are not corrupt. In fact, we are truly corrupt. The only difference is that we have not been given the chance to be corrupt. The moment that chance comes, we grab it. That is why when people get into office, they become so corruptedly irrecoverable. It's sad. Look at River Pra. It used to be very, very blue and beautiful, taking the color of the sky. Today, there it is like granite soup. It's sad. And your gods live there. You go there and slaughter rams. The same sub chiefs who are slaughtering rams and pouring appetition and all that for the gods, they are involved in this dirty act. You are fake. You don't even believe in your gods. You are opportunists. You are liars. You are liars. You are cheats. You are thieves. You are too corrupt. If Galamsey would happen in any country, not in Ghana, where we believe so much in ancestral worship, the so-called fetishism, this is what you have reduced your gods to. Which God will live in this dirty, polluted water and still be called a god? Which God lives in this polluted thing? The habitat of your gods has become so desecrated and so bad, so stinking, and the chiefs cannot do anything. The government has failed. So tradition has also failed. Then this nation is a lost nation. Dash it out. Dash it away. I want to go. I'm so sad. Let's see your final comments and I'm done. Religion has failed us. Government has failed us. We have failed ourselves. But we shall keep fighting. We shall fight until the end. That's why we're brought here. So when I hear somebody say, oh, and he's doing politics, oh, and he's supporting this person, I look at them and I say, you guys are lucky I'm not God. I would have silenced all of you one after the other. Shall we see the comments? And we'll be done. All right. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. If your comments have not been read, feel no way. We are going to resume tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. If everything goes right, no technical issues, we are still growing and we are so dependent on the national power grid. If it fails us, it means that it will take us some time to be able to return. That's when power is restored. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo. Here we speak truth to power. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you and I love you. My name is RASTA. Hey! Way! Wayo!